Welcome back to the Witch's Way podcast. I'm Kat.
And I'm Jamie, and this is episode 56.
56. Episode 56.
Which means we officially hit over a year. Right? 52 weeks in a year?
Yes, ma'am. It does, yeah.
Why didn't we think of that before?
But I don't know.
Anywho, 56, episode 56. And tonight we are talking about harnessing the energy of Mabon, which I feel is like quite an overlooked holiday. And if you haven't heard the word Mabon, people say Mabon. It's preference. Just say it how you want to say it. We say Mabon, and we make fun of that because it's like, oh no, Mabon. Like, it's okay to make fun of it. My bones hurt. Like, listen, that's what happens in cold weather, right? We get the bones start hurting. All the burr months are up, and now we're like aches and pains.
We're in the burr months, and we're happy about that. Or burr months. I noticed this morning when I went out that I was like, oh, the days are getting shorter. Ooh.
I noticed that there's a 74-degree chilly wind coming through.
Yeah, it's cooler.
I know you guys don't think the 74 is probably chilly, but in Florida,
anything under 80 is pretty much like, oh, that feels so nice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's cold. That's where you start to get burr.
Once we get to 72, you're like, burr.
Listen, 70 and under, I am in furry boots with sweaters.
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
It's really silly.
I need layers.
I love it when northern people see me and they're like, what in the fuck is wrong with you? I'm like, yeah, no, this is cold to us. Hey, stay here 1 year and you will also be that way. And I think I remember you coming from Kansas City. You thought we were sort of crazy that first winter and you were like, this is beautiful weather. And by that next winter, she was right on board with our cold bones, just being like, oh God, why is 70 so cold here? That's not natural. It just hits different in Florida. I don't know why.
So we're kind of excited. You might be able to tell that we're excited about the fall season coming. Yeah. And so Mabon is like the beginning of it all, right? Mm-hmm.
It's the equinox. So we've got the fall equinox coming, and so I don't know if you guys have any September dates that are really important to you, like maybe birthdays or, death dates even, family holidays, family traditions, things that you have going on during this time. But the fall equinox marks my husband's birthday. And so I can't help but feel a little bit of like, this is a birthday season for me. This is a sort of a big time. He has his birthday.
Celebratory.
Yeah, he has his birthday, 5 to 6 days after the equinox. And I'm always like, do you know that you're so close to the equinox? Like, on some years, it's like 4 days away. And I was like, oh, honey, look at you. And he's a Libra. So that whole balance of things, last episode talking about the Libra season and just scales and balance and keeping people happy and all of that. Yeah. So when Mabon comes in, it's like this pleasant balancing thing because it does bring in the Libra season. But I don't know. I like Mabon, and nobody ever talks about it. And it was one of the last holidays I ever celebrated because of its name. And not that I wrote this in the notes, but Mabon is related to a god in a story.
Okay.
And there's a whole thing behind him. And I didn't write that into tonight's episode. I just didn't, because I guess we've been doing this for 5 years now, and we've talked about that god a lot. I don't know. It's like Lu, the god for Luna's Hell. I don't know. I didn't write it in there. What did I write, Mom? What did I write about tonight?
Well, one thing you wrote about is how women in midlife, and you're saying midlife, and I feel like my daughter thinks she's at midlife right now, and she's 44.
Midlife. What?
She's not at midlife.
I'm ready to
young.
be. No,
I was so young when I was 44. I was partying out in the karaoke bars 6 nights a week, staying out till 3 o'clock in the morning and going to work at.
But we have to reconcile the differences. You gave up all of your youth to raise 3 children. So that was
all my 30s, yeah.
Girl, your 20s too? You had your first child at 19?
Well, that's true.
You started having responsibilities and trying to think big, and then you had your last child by what, 27, 8?
Yeah, 20. I was 27 when Jolene was
exactly.
born, yeah.
You gave up all of your youth to be a mother, and you struggled and sacrificed for us, and I saw all the fun you didn't have. I was there. I saw it. So when we all left the house, you were like, fucking 20s are
it's
back
fucking
on.
I went and
I'm not kidding.
Listen, the day that my youngest turned 18, I went and got a fucking tattoo.
Was it the tramp stamp?
The tramp stamp.
I love it. My mom has the tramp stamp. I love it so much. She's so bold, you guys. Like, I'm her daughter, and my mom is way bolder than me. I'm like, damn, she's living life way bigger than I am. Way louder, way more proud, like, way out there. And I love that. I was like, you are definitely more brave than me. I cannot do that.
What I was getting ready to say was that women in midlife feel disconnected from Earth's rhythms because we're fucking overworked.
Yeah.
My God. And when do we have time to ever think about ourselves? We are constantly thinking about other people. But we feel disconnected from pretty much everything, not only the seasons, but ourselves. I think we feel disconnected from ourselves. And I think that as the days start to get shorter and, darkness comes back and, people start coming inside, you're not go for the summer, this makes us like almost long for, like, I really feel, I like that winter is coming. I'm glad we're in the burr
settle
months.
down.
Yeah, it's like
right?
everything kind of like chills out.
I agree.
And it's a little bit slower pace. And maybe all the people in our lives don't need so much from us. We're not constantly going everywhere and having picnics and going to people's houses and pool parties and whatever. So we can kind of get to slow down and start paying attention more to and I think that's when we feel that, like, that stuff creeping in that that we've been neglecting maybe over the summer months, where we weren't really, we just spent so much time caring for everybody else, like we always do. But anyway, at midlife, this is what Jamie wrote in her notes, which when she said midlife, I was like, honey, midlife. I feel like I'm midlife, even though I'm not. I'm probably beyond midlife, but
we can be in midlife at the same time. I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
But at this time, we may start longing for something deeper, like a spiritual practice that helps us feel more balanced and grounded and in tune with the divine feminine. And I really feel like this is the perfect time as we go into the fall season for us to really turn inward and start practicing some self-care and doing things for us that we need to do, so that we're taken care of. Because if we don't take care of ourselves, then eventually we're not going to have anything to give to other people, and we're going to be so burned out. And I know when I was super burned out and taking care of everybody and family and working 3 jobs and all that stuff, there's times when I felt resentful, because I felt like I was sacrificing.
Yes.
I've sacrificed so much, and it didn't feel like that there was enough, like there was not reciprocity in that. Like all the stuff I was putting out, things weren't coming back equally, or even not even close to equal. I just felt like it was give. So that's, I think the Mabon season is about, balance and gratitude. And
it's really, it's honoring, like, your balance. Because I think that for so long, we can be overworked and not realize it until we get resentful. And then you're like, wait, this is still on me. We have to take responsibility for saying yes to too many things. That's been a hard lesson in my own life.
And we just had that. We just talked about the importance of boundaries. And this is when what we're talking about.
Part of it. Yeah,
is
absolutely.
A boundary. Yeah. Making sure that we're not always giving so much that we're just completely depleted and unhappy, and then I think it eventually affects our health and our relationship. Everything
does.
Else, so,
I just had this conversation with Cameron the other day where I said, obviously we had a whole situation where he almost died twice in the hospital. It was really, like, we've had this really tough year with him medically, and I can feel myself wanting to take care of, hover, be there for everything, make everything fucking unique and special, and, like, just give him all my energy. And I actually, like, the way that I deal with this for myself is that I have a healthy discussion with my son. I'm like, I really want to give you so much. I'm like, I'm going to step back, though. Like, my go-to right now is to do all the things for you. Like, do your laundry and fold it and put it away. And he's 19 years old. The boy
almost
needs
20.
He's going to be 20
He's
in
20
like 2
soon.
months.
2 months.
In 2 months, he'll be 20. that is not a healthy thing for me to do to him, and that would be an act of devotion that I would see as loving, but that would be for him. My mom is doing everything for me. I'm not gaining my independence. So we have to realize that also in our own givings, which feel loving, and where we're overcompensating for something. Like I'm overcompensating my mothering for him right now because he almost died twice. And I'm like, I'm just grateful that he's here. I'd do anything at this point. Whatever he says, I want to say yes to, because I look back at the time where I almost lost him. But instead, because I want him to be healthy and I want us to have a healthy relationship, I'm like, hey, I will switch your laundry over from the washer to the dryer, but then the rest of this is your job. Like, I can help a little. And I have to set healthy boundaries for myself with that. I had a whole fucking point to that. Now I forgot because I got into
I think we were talking about balance, so that's balance.
The balance
too.
of it,
So
yes.
balance, boundaries are really,
Pulling back.
really connected.
Because I gotta take care of myself, right? Like, I have goals and dreams of my own, and if I'm literally just giving to everybody every day, everything is fine. This is the crazy part, right? Like, life is fine, everything's fine, but I'm not fulfilled. Like, everything is fine, but I realize that I'm not fulfilled in my own personal goals and dreams.
Right. Well, I mean, and you can feel it, in the quiet times when there's just this like sort of feeling of just like discontent, like nothing's wrong, but there's this discontent, and you don't really know, like, what is that? What's that like little gnawing thing in me that just feels like, what's the purpose of all this?
And
right?
what I think when that comes up, it's because you're not taking care of your own needs.
Yeah.
You're not truly doing things for yourself. So I've been thinking recently, like with all my hair battles and everything that I've done, I really need to do more self-care. So last week I started running on the treadmill again.
I was going to say, congratulations. She's
I love
back
running.
She's a runner. Been a runner forever. Got that from her dad, not from me, because I can't run for shit. Me and my other daughter's like, yeah, we're like,
fuck that.
Clod hoppers.
Clod hoppers.
Jamie and her dad are like gazelles,
Yeah. It's very easy for me to run. It took nothing. I hadn't been on the treadmill in probably almost 2 years. And honestly, it was like, the only thing that I hold back for is because I don't want to hurt myself. But, in 5 days, I went from, I do like a 5-minute on, 5-minute off, like jog. And you guys, not run. I'm not fucking sprinting here. We're jogging.
She's not doing that yet, but you'll pick up your speed eventually.
I'll pick up my speed eventually, but
back in.
Right now, it's just, you don't want to hurt yourself. So if you go too hard, too fast, you hurt yourself, and I already know all about that. But it's just like the 5 minutes of walking at a good pace, and then you're jogging, and you just do that. And it was on the 4th time being on the treadmill, I was like, fuck this. I'm doing 10 minutes of jogging because I get so bored. I'm like, no, I'm built for this other thing. Walking feels like irritating. And I watch Hoarders while I do this because I don't know. I love that show so much because I think that in another life I probably was a hoarder. I could be with witchcraft type things. I could totally be a hoarder. I just took a video of all my random
Oh my God, I just looked around my house at my witchcraft things like, oh shit.
You're not a hoarder.
I might be.
No, you're not though, because like I've listened to
Wait, look at my bookshelf. And I got more bookshelves.
It's not hoarding. It's hoarding when it interrupts your life cycle. Believe me, I know the definition. I've worried about myself before. But that's what I watch. It's like 15 minutes long as a show, and I just jog and walk the whole time, and I love it.
I'm just really happy for you because
thank you
that you took the step and you did it because you've talked about it for a while.
I've talked about it for a long time.
You wanted to do it for a while, and I don't know what and I'm not sure what was holding you back. If it was just like lack of motivation,
lazy,
or just kind of feeling like I want to do it, but I don't really want to walk down there.
It's hot in my basement.
Yeah,
like
I
have lots of excuses.
Well, that's a good excuse though, because it's summer.
It's hot.
So,
but you're gonna sweat anyways, and honestly,
yeah. But who wants to run in a fucking sauna? Like seriously,
yeah, I know.
The basement's not AC'd, you guys. It's just
we took the AC out a couple years ago when we remedied the house. But since the winter months are coming, that's another thing, right? Like it's not peak season. Actually, August is truly Florida's hottest month. But we got a lot of rain this month, so it's actually been
super mild.
Nice.
I'm really shocked. I keep going like, okay, where's all the fucking hurricanes?
Stop it. You and my sister.
Well, we've had nothing. So anyway, but we're not here to talk about hurricane season in Florida. Okay, I'm not going to talk about it.
No,
we're not. I actually looked up, I read the whole history, U.S. history, last night because I'm having trouble sleeping, even though I'm microdosing some things to help me sleep. Got a pen to help me sleep. Still not going to sleep. So I turn off the lights. My eyes pop right open. I'm like, fuck it. So last night I read this whole history of hurricanes in the United States, like all these hurricanes and all the hurricanes that have hit Florida. It's because I'm like, okay, because we've had them direct. We had the last one direct hit here last year.
We had the last 3. What are you talking about?
No, direct hit here, just Casey
Like the
Key.
eye?
Like
Oh,
the
the
eye of it
yeah.
hit here, like like a mile from where we go to the beach all the time.
Well, Casey Key is my house. So.
Well, I know, but that's the beach I go to is Nokomis, and that's right up the road.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
so we had the eye go over my house. Is that what you're saying?
the eye landed at it made landfall on Casey Key.
Yeah,
I think I'm pretty sure. Anyway, that last one was really intense. So I'm kind of trying to prepare myself for what do we have in store.
Would you stop it? You enjoy thinking listen, I lived here for so many years and there were no hurricanes. Okay, you guys come in here with your fear and all of a sudden now you're attracting hurricanes to our area. Would you stop it?
I'm sure that it's because I'm thinking about hurricanes that are happening.
Listen, if you guys are listening to this podcast, we also put this on YouTube. We record ourselves, so you can watch it or you can listen to it. But right now, I'm doing the hand motion of slapping my mom because I'm like, stop it. Get it out of your brain. Quit saying those things.
Okay, I'm just going to say there's not going to be...
Hurricanes don't hit here because we're an ancient burial ground where everybody's fucking happy, okay?
Uh-huh, okay.
I don't know what they say about that, but...
Anyway, we're way off track of this subject, but I think, we're kind of like jibber-jabbering about different things, but I do think it comes down to, we're going into this time of year where we're just going to kind of slow things down a little bit.
I look forward to fires and communion of people and gathering of my witches. And I just wanted to point out one thing. I don't know if anybody else out there is like me, but I become what we call a football widow. So we're recording right now. Today is Thursday. Guess what? Football has officially fucking started, and now I get to spend way more time with my girls, my witches, my mom, my sister, my friends, Brianna, anybody who comes in town of her family. I can't wait. I'm just I'm so much more free now, and I love my husband to death, all the way to the deaths of both of us. But I do look forward to football season, and that is what Mabon brings in.
Because it gives you a little more time back just to focus on Jamie.
On us, yeah.
On you.
My relationships, my feminine relationships where I love.
Whatever you want to focus on now, whether it's
puzzles, hoarders,
crafting, thrifting,
bonfires outside,
getting little get-togethers. I have thought that I want to learn to play mahjong. And have mahjong, whatever it's called. The thing with the Chinese thing.
The tiles.
Yeah, the tiles. Because so I want to learn to do that, and then have weekly get-togethers.
I love that.
And fall, as you go into the fall, and the days are shorter. Pretty soon it'll be dark at 5:00 again. And
you have to do indoor activities.
It's the perfect time for something like that.
Yeah.
To take up something like that. Also, I have football season working in my favor because that means you're free.
I know, right? Yeah. All the women are freed up because the men are doing the football thing. I love it. It's the best.
So, okay.
We want to point out that the equinoxes, if you're not familiar, equinoxes happen twice a year.
In the spring.
Which is Ostara.
That's March.
And the fall, which is Mabon.
And the equinoxes are when the sun and the
love it.
When light, I'm not going to do it. It's when light and dark are equal.
Night and day are equal. Yes.
Yeah, 12 hours of light, 12 hours of dark.
Yes.
For example.
And so, I like to point out here that equinox, the word, means equal night. So they didn't put in there equal day, but it's equal night. So the day is equal to the night. That's equinox.
Okay.
Yeah. It's such a fun word.
It is a fun word.
I love etymology. It's great. So it's not just, the astronomical event of balancing things out. It's also the check-in for us. And later, when you think about balance for your life externally and then internally too. Because we talk a lot about this. Like, Kat and I have this deficiency of rest where we're like, resting is lazy. Maybe because we're Virgos rising and like we just feel like go all the time needs to be happening. Rest for us can sometimes feel like we are not productive, we're lazy, we're hard on ourselves. We actually have negative self-talk when it comes to that. And
It's true.
I have to look to equinoxes for things like this where there are times when you need to recognize that you do a lot and that if you were to balance that out with your rest period, you'd be resting a lot more. And give myself grace with that. So if you're also around this time, you can start to feel the pull of, damn, I've been like on the stage, online, on demand, on everything, just on in general. Mm-hmm. Now is the time to really be like, everything needs a rest. Everything needs a break. Everything needs a balance and a calm down. And Mabon really, the equinoxes always remind me of that. It's like, okay, we can do a lot. We can run around and do all the things. But also, when you have those 3 days of rest after doing like a week on, know that that is self-care. That's not being lazy. I have to remind myself of that.
I have to remind myself of that too. Yeah.
All the time.
So this is your reset button. That's what you can think of Mabon as. It's time to reset. All the stuff you've been doing for the last 6 months since we started getting light, since the days started getting longer. We had all the great, spring holidays that we love, and then the summers. That whole 6 months, of just light and bright and growing and all of this stuff.
Festivities.
That was fun. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
But now we're at the end of it, and it's like, whew, time to reset, relax, come inside, and
it's like nature saying, like, girl, just like feel where you're at. Like, take stock of what's happening with you right now. Like, just slow down a little bit. Let's do some reflecting. Let's be like, okay, so we did all of that. It's September. I don't know, when September hits for me, it's like the year's fucking over. I'm like, it's done. Bye-bye 2025, because the next few months are going to fly by. And Mabon is really that check-in before all of the holidays hit, right? Because after Mabon, we have Samhain coming up, and I can't lie, I could live in the month of October only because everybody celebrates that witchy season. People get more curious. I think that there's more openness to talking about topics. There's the thinning of the veil, so people are like talking about death more, or the crossing, or like cemeteries have a bigger focus. We've got ghosts, we've got hauntings, we've got all these things. I'm like, yes, come into my world, everybody, like bring it in. So I could really live in that October time frame. And then once we hit like November 1st, it's just bam, you've got the Thanksgiving and the kids home from school, and then you've got the Christmas breaks, and then you've got the Yule holiday or Christmas, and then you've got New Year's, and what are you doing for New Year's, and where are you going out, and like it fucking starts again. It's like a winter summer. It's like a winter,
it's like a summer winter.
A summer winter, yeah. It's like all of the activities again, where you get exhausted.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But right now, you've got Mabon to Samhain, and I swear things calm down a bit, and then it just speeds back up. It's like 6 weeks of sort of like, this is the time to refresh and think about it. And I don't know. This feels like the only time I can reflect, because then I get really busy after that, right? Because Kat hosts Thanksgiving, and I host Yule, Christmas / all the things at my house. So we're both very busy for those last 2 months of the year, planning and cleaning and getting the supplies and cooking and planning the menus and doing all the things. It feels like summer again, but it's just dark outside.
Yeah. Okay, so, this is also, Mabon is harvest time. So this is a harvest holiday. This is the second harvest holiday. The first was Lunasal. So that would have been when our ancestors were harvesting their very first crops for the year. And this one is when they would have been pulling everything out of the fields and storing it and preparing for winter.
Yeah.
Because the next one is not
Yeah, Samhain.
Next one is Samhain. So.
Yeah, that's when you literally clear everything. Everything's dead. Everything's coming out. The fields are repurposed for next year. And you're doing cover crops. You're doing,
That's when you're planting. I mean, you clear the fields and start.
It's not. It's usually not planning yet. What you're doing is assessing what did well. What did the land handle?
Okay, so you're reflecting
you're reflecting. Doing
what
cover
crops do I need to get rid of?
Yes.
What crops really did well? Do I need to move plants in my garden from one location to another?
They also do thinning of the herd, which means that any animal that they don't believe that would go through winter, they would start to look at it as be like, let's go ahead and harvest that animal as well. So you've got this season from after midsummer, which was June 22nd, all the way through to October 31st, November 1st, you've got this planning of like all of the work that we did for those other 8 months, whether it was the planning, the planting, the clearing, the growing, the heart, all of the things, you're like, what went well and what didn't. That's why this is really about balance, right? We got to look at our work and say, what went well, what didn't.
Well, so since we're talking about planting, one of the things that we can do at this time of year to make this whole season practical is to grab a journal and start writing things down that you planted this year that are thriving. Yeah. So this is a good time to reflect on, look at all the great things what did you accomplish? The planting is like, you started a podcast, you started your novel, you started learning a new skill or something like that. Those are things you planted and then grew.
In yourself.
And anything that you invested in, and it could be in your family too, but we'd like to focus, I think we always want to focus on us because we don't do it enough, honestly. And that's just the truth. As women, we just don't. We take care of everybody else. So this is about you, girl.
Focus on you. Don't think about what you did for everybody else. Now, when you said that, I was like, I'm gonna ask Kat, like, oh, what did you invest in yourself this year? And I know one thing, but then I turned the question on myself and I was like, I don't know what I did for myself this year. I don't quite know yet. I don't know that I can answer that right now. I need time to reflect because I need time to reflect
because I'm sure you did some things
for myself.
But you did have a it was not a normal year.
Yeah, I know.
With so many months spent caring for sick family members and sitting in hospitals. But
I had to have gotten something out of that though, right? Like if I reflect enough, like even with my hard year, and we all have hard years. So when you're sitting around thinking about it, and you're like, I've had a really fucking hard year. I lost my house, or like my car is gone, and now I'm dependent on somebody else. I think about my sister's year. Like she's had this very transformative year.
Big time.
Where so much has happened with her even. And I'm like, what would she say that she grew for herself? Because sometimes the growth is not like, I planted a seed and look at my beautiful flowers. It's more like, look at the plot that I had where shit was growing for other people and now it's empty and I own it. Like it's actually, the barren land is a possession you now own because nobody else claims it for you. It's a weird vision that I'm getting. Am I explaining that well, do you think?
I think so. I think I understand what you're saying. It's like everything in your life is basically, it's like the hurricane came through and wiped everything out. And now you're left with bare. And what you get to do with that, even though you look at it and it makes you so sad, and you're like, but I had all these things before, and that was my beautiful life. But then what you realize when you reflect on it is that you have an opportunity here with this barren space, with this cleared out life, with these things that are no longer here. You have an opportunity, and now you need to spend some time thinking about, what do you really want to grow here? What do you want this plot, if you will, which is your life? But we can think of it as a garden. What do you want this to look like a year from now? What do you want to be growing here?
I do think that.
Yeah.
That's more, my life has been more, instead of growing things this year, more so my life has been like stripped down to like ground level. And I'm okay with that. I'm not saying it in a bad way, but I know that now I get to insert healthy habits and healthy relationships or healthy whatevers, or, it's not that, and I don't necessarily know what I lost besides normalcy, the old normal. And this is a 9 year, so the endings and the things, we've never really gotten into numerology on this podcast. Maybe we should. But with this being a 9 year, and 9 is the ending of cycles, I really feel so many things for myself have ended, and it's not that I'm like reaping the rewards of something that I've grown. I'm actually reaping the rewards of things that I've lost, and the space that has cleared. And that is such a foreign concept for us when we talk about like what are you reaping from this growing season?
Yeah.
Well, what if your growing season was like actually your whole land got cleared, and the growth is really that you acquired space, not things. You didn't acquire a harvest, you acquired the space for the next year. That's still an accomplishment. I mean, in my eyes, making space for things.
Well, what it is a beautiful opportunity to build something.
For sure.
To build something that you want, that you have a vision for, that
more purposeful,
that maybe more purposeful, intentional. I think that I think that the things that you had to go through with Cameron and even with your husband, I think those things, they're super stressful at the time, and you're worried and you're scared and you're all the things, and you're not sleeping and you're not eating, and you're just
you're losing all your hair.
You're losing your hair and have to cut it off. And I think what those things do when you look back on them, even though this really, I mean, I was there with you in the hospital.
You were? You were there at the end of the day, on the phone with me every day. In the morning, sometimes in the middle of the afternoon, because I scheduled my breaks in. I would give everybody updates. Like, you were there.
And when you're going through that stuff, you don't realize that you're going to look back and have gratitude for the things that you learned about yourself or about your kid or about other people. About the whole healthcare system.
Actually, those are growth.
And actually, one of the things that I just thought about that you started for yourself and you haven't been able yet to put energy into it and focus into it is your YouTube channel about epilepsy and information, to help other people because of all the things that you've gone through with Cameron and his epilepsy.
That's true.
And there's just not good information out there for people. There's not enough. You basically, it was like trial by fire, seriously. I mean, it's been. Here's the great thing, you guys. I have to share this with you because Jamie mentioned it to me. She's like, he was on Keppra, which is a common drug that they use to treat.
It's the newest and most
recent.
Because it's the newest drug, it's like the one that everybody goes to first because it has had great results with a lot of people. It has. So they're just like, yep, Keppra, that's the first drug. It has some wicked ass side effects. Terrible side effects.
For Jamie realizing when Cameron was finally taken off of it, he's coming back to himself now. He's coming back to his fun self, his talkative self, I think he's starting to remember things more. One of the things
he's getting memories back.
One of the things with epilepsy is when you have these seizures, then you lose chunks of time. You lose memories. You do. And then you're like, I don't remember that happened.
I don't know if I did that. I'm not sure.
You're like, you lose so many chunks of time, but now those are starting to come back. But I think after we get past the really hard times like that, we can look back and say, I'm really grateful he's alive and I got through it. But, and here's the things that I also took away from that, like what I know. I'm speaking for you.
Sure,
I'm going to speak for Jamie. Like, I know now that I want to try to help other people because of all the things that I've had to go through.
Absolutely.
So you started a YouTube channel, and Cameron has even said,
he wants to help me do videos.
I want to do videos. I want to record videos too. I want to talk about this. So I think that's like a really great thing that you guys. I love that he's coming back to himself, and he lives with me. So to see him, come back to himself and not be angry or depressed or just, not
want to live.
Not want to live.
He really was like his will to live was really gone.
Well, he was really. He was almost despondent because he just didn't really see the point of and it's like, what the fuck, And then he got mad at his mom because I
gave birth to him.
Well, no,
all of a sudden his whole life is my fault.
He said? He got mad at her because she raised him to believe that life was beautiful and life was all these things, and then he grew up and is like, that's not how fucking life is, and he's pissed off at her about it.
I know. I never thought that could backfire. Like, you raise your kid really well, and then they're like, fuck you, that's horrible. The life is not like that. I was like, oh, wait, but it can be. Life can be beautiful and wonderful. So, Yeah. And you know what? There's a voice that I found this year for myself that's actually probably my proudest moment. I guess thinking, like, reflecting on that as you're talking. I used to just say, yeah, doctors know best, blah, 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 blah. Fuck that. Doctors don't know best. They don't know your situation. They don't know your kid. They don't know the mental health. They don't know. And in this situation, I learned to really find my voice against the authority in the medical system. And I'm very proud of that because I'm not sure that I ever would have. I've never been challenged with that before, but I can tell you, because medicine is a practice, they are all just doing their best guesses. Also, I don't hold any of them necessarily, like, I don't think they're being malicious, but they don't know what the fuck is going on. So if you have input, you should really stand your ground with it. And that is what I learned, not just with my husband, but also with my son going through the 2 medical issues this year. I had to find my voice and talk to doctors with an authority voice, which I'd never done before. Remember, military girl. Say yes to everything. Follow commands. Don't ask questions. Like, I have been trained to not speak up. And it is taking a lot of years and a lot of frustrating situations for me to say, no. So
that is one thing.
That's a beautiful thing from this year.
Fucking gained out of the
beautiful thing from this year.
Scorched earth that was your life for a while.
And I'll tell you, Brianna being our friend now, her insight into all of this was like so pivotal. So having her and the way that the universe brought her to us, to have her as a friend now and to see her as this like trusted advisor within the medical system, because that's where she worked. Also, it's just like the universe really did have my back in going through these things, but I had to recognize it. Because I could have like shut down and stayed quiet and just been like sad and like all of that. But I had resources around me, and it took me like going home and reflecting and not being stuck in the sadness and being like, okay, what choices do I have? And I think that when we come back to balance, when we get in that place of, I can tell that I'm getting resentful for things, for taking care of people, for taking on too much, for people not doing this. And it can be literally as simple.
For never having time to do the things that you want to do.
Like, I practice this now where because I work from home, I feel more responsible for my home than my husband. And I take this on. This is not him. This is me. I take more responsibility for the things that go on at home, like getting the trash day out on trash day, making sure the dishwasher is like loaded and the dishes are clean and then put away. I do all of that shit myself, and I take it on and I put that priority over myself. And I've been backing off of that for a while because I'm like, no. A household runs best together. If I do everything and I'm this catering person, and you guys, he doesn't ask me. This is not him. This is all me in my mental space of like being worthy enough. It's my own shit to deal with his shadow work. I have to create a balance, and like when he goes out to put the trash out or something, I gotta stop myself from feeling guilty. That is an automatic reaction from me. That's not him. He's like, yeah, I put the trash out. That's what men do. And I'm like, oh, but I'm home all day. Like, I should have done that. I should have stepped up.
You went to work all day long.
You were at the actual office all day. He could have been doing fantasy football all day. I don't know. Like, why? So it's in your own heads when we start to justify why we are sacrificing so much for other people to feel our worthiness. This gets into deep ass shadow work. I can't lie. But we're just talking about Mabon and celebrating like the equinox. But this is the kind of things that it can bring up when you really sit down and think about what is balance in your life. What is the light versus the dark in your life? You know, truly just for yourself, not including your kids and your husband or your boyfriend, girlfriend, your mates, your family, whatever. It's like just for you, what is the balance in your life? And how are you protecting yourself? Because you're the only one that's going to protect you. That's it. Like, people will speak up for you, but you have to actually do the protecting, the thing, the reserving your energy, the pulling back.
The people will also let you cater to them until you fall dead on the ground. They won't even think that it's like, oh, maybe she needs a break. Maybe I should go in there and help her in the kitchen. They're like, oh, no, she's got it.
They'll
fine.
Especially do that if you keep telling them that everything is fine and you're fine and don't worry about it.
And we do tend to do that.
Fuck yeah,
I was like,
do.
No, don't worry about it. I got this.
I got this.
Yeah,
I'm good.
That's like,
I have lots of words. I'm a super mom. I'm getting all of the groceries in one trip, like on all the arms and shoulders, and breaking my back because I just want to do it that way because I don't know why it makes me feel superhuman to get every fucking bag in from the car into the house. I'm like, no, I got this. I got it. But it makes me feel good. I'm literally hurting myself. Like, I don't know. It's like I don't even know what it's for. If you relate to that, I'm cheersing you right now. We're a work in progress, all of us. We're a work in progress. Yeah?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
so let's talk about the goddesses that are associated with this time of the year, because we can work with these goddesses by, in different ways, like offerings and, making altars or just researching them and learning about
write
them.
Them a letter, ask them for help.
We can do all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So the goddesses, this is a perfect time, Mabon, to call on the goddesses of justice and harvest, like Demeter, Persephone, your favorite.
My fave. Persephone.
Or even Themis.
Yep.
Themis,
who we talked about last week. Themis. Yeah.
Is that who we talked about last
I know,
week?
yeah.
Really?
I know her name. I don't like her name. I'm sorry. I know that's wrong, but Themis.
Themis, okay. God,
And,
really?
yeah.
Has it been that long and I don't remember Themis?
Just Themis.
I wasn't Hestia?
That was before.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the goddess before.
We're going to put all the goddesses. So we've been doing this like goddess thing, right?
All year.
We've been doing goddess thing all year.
All year.
And I told Jamie I'm going to build a page on our website under our magical library of resources, or magical library is just what it's called, about the goddesses. So that there's a place
There's
where
so
you
many.
can go
Yeah.
if you want to learn about them, of all the ones that we've done. Because we have done like every month. Have we done a goddess
Every
for
season.
Every season.
Every
Okay.
season change.
Okay.
Yeah, so there'll be 12 by the end of the year.
All right, yeah.
Yeah,
so
so
that's going to
Themis.
be on our website. That's on my list of things to do. But some of the things that you can do, like I said, is like put out an offering. Good things. There are things that go with the season, are like apples, grains,
Anything that's harvested during this time. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
a candle. Candles, always candles. One for light, one for dark, for balance.
Yeah,
So
you can
go
do
with
black
the
and white,
balance.
anything, or opposite colors. You can use the color wheel and look at like opposite things, like purple and yellow, anything opposite.
And so what this is about is like honoring honoring both of those sides of the cycle, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So I did think about, if you wanted to do an altar just for Mabon, this is about balance. I just want you to think about that literally right now for equinox, it is equal day and night. So whatever representations you can see for that.
Yeah, the themes. Think of the theme balance because
That's why
of the
everybody
equinox.
thinks of black and white.
Yeah.
Because, you know.
Because night and dark, night and day.
Night and day. Night and
Night
dark.
and dark.
She's a Scorpio.
Light and dark,
It's
night and day.
and dark for her, okay? That's Scorpio talk right there.
It's true. I can't. It's just.
I love that. But it's anything that goes along with this season, and I will urge you 1,000% to literally walk outside of your front door and see what your land is doing where you live. Because we can have all of these associations with Mabon right now, but guess what? These are technically from the European continents. So when they write the book and say all the associations, they don't have shit in Florida. How many acorns do you guys think we have down here? We have palm nuts, okay? We have lots and lots of palm nuts. We have pine nuts. We have, like, our plant system down here is just different. The way things happen is just different. We've got a migration of monarchs right now. I don't see monarchs in this fucking thing, okay? Monarchs is a huge
But
part.
they are the right color, though.
They're the right color with that orange and black and white. I love it.
Yeah.
But I want you to really like step outside of what is written in the books and just look at your own land. If you really want to connect, look at what is happening in your yard, in your local parks, even the plants that they sell in.
I just did a TikTok about this.
You did? You're doing TikToks?
I just did a TikTok about this, and what I
You're
said.
gonna make me download TikTok. I don't even want to.
What I said was, if you're a new witch, to go out. You know, one of the best things you can do as a new witch is to go explore right outside your house, like
Just outside
what's
your house,
growing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Examine all the things that are going in your yard. Go down to your park. What's growing around you? Get to know the plants and things that are in your. And that video, what I had. When I was at the park earlier this week with Tank, there were 4 large sandhill cranes.
Ooh.
And they were watching him chase the ball. And just like they were really interested in what he was doing with that ball. And you know how he runs and then he makes a big circle like this and comes back around with it
loop
to bring the ball back to me.
Yeah.
You know, they were fine until he went out a little too far, and then they like would get they were like, oh, that's too close.
Yeah.
But they were beautiful. And you know what, they make this like clicking sound that sort of reminds me of
Dinosaurs?
the dinosaurs
They do.
from Jurassic
Yep,
Park.
they do.
They're,
Yep.
and it's really loud, and it's kind of like, and then of course I had to read up on them, and they're like all these cool things about their mating dances and all the stuff that they do.
They hop with each other.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the video that I used to go along with all the stuff that I said about like go outside, step outside, get to know the plants in your yard. So
yeah, for any of our witches that are listening from like, I don't even know, where would I draw the line? I'm thinking geographically. Okay. We're in Florida. Do you know what bird we don't have here? Like, we do have it here, but you just don't ever see it. The robin.
Oh.
There's no robins here. And when we lived in Kansas, robin was the bird. Like, to see a blue jay or a cardinal was more rare. Robins were everywhere. And now in Florida, it's like, oh, damn, we don't have that bird. Like, it's just not really around. We got, like, grackles and blue jays and cardinals and titmouse. And I can name
Egrets.
Egrets and hawks. Oh, I just had a hawk take out one of my doves on the bird feeder the other day.
Oh.
I left all the feathers plastered to it. So we have nature
I found
happening.
entrails of something in my yard.
No, oh God.
I was like, oh God, that's entrails. I don't know what happened. I was just kind of like, I'm just going to look away.
You don't even have like cats around or something.
Yeah, I don't know what got it. Something got something.
Something got something. Circle of life. This is where we walk out into our environment and we just start observing. This is also, okay, so when you observe just outside your door, you're also being present. You can also take off your shoes and do grounding. There are many ways that just walking outside of your door, going to a local park, and just being. I'm not asking you to do anything. It's like just observe with all of your senses, eyes, ears. What do you feel? What's the smell? What's going on there? Record that for each season. And that is how you will actually notice the shift in all of the 8 seasons that we talk about in the Wheel of the Year. As it turns, each one feels different. You know, each time frame brings in something new. There are animal migrations. There are new things happening. There's things blooming. I was just telling Kat that there's really important flowers during winter that are blooming for the pollinators, especially here in Florida where we don't get snow. We're in mid-South Florida.
We're subtropical.
Yeah. So these winter blooming flowers are really important to keep pollinators going. And it's little things like that. It's knowing the land around you that I think it helps us feel more connected.
It really is about connectivity. And the other thing, if you want to even go a little further with that, is like take your camera out and take pictures of the weeds that you see and find out about them, because you have weeds that have really good witchy like properties that you're like, shit, I never knew you could.
We're gonna air quote weeds, because what we know about weeds is that a weed is a local plant that people find as a pest because they want a green lawn without anything interrupting it. So fuck that.
We hate those people. Well, not hate those people.
Hate is strong.
We don't like grass.
I don't like lawns. I don't like the green.
Here, grass is so bad
bizarre.
Because they strip everything out of the land, then they put down sod, then you have to spend all this. It's very expensive to keep the grass green. It sucks up. It uses a lot of pesticides.
Water.
The water. I mean, we don't have that much. We need to preserve everywhere in the world. We need to conserve water. So to see
the wastefulness,
the waste of water to keep a lawn green here in Florida is really. It's kind of heartbreaking, because when you think about all the good that water could be doing, and you know what, you don't need grass. Jamie's taken out every bit of grass in her, and
I'm still trying.
She's working toward that.
Grass is actually it's really fucking persistent. I wish it was killable more easily, but it is not. It is taking a lot of hand muscles and strength and mental determination to rip out the grass from my yard, because there's grass that grows like a weed that it thrives in this shit. Crabgrass is awful. Now the grass here in Florida that people pay for so much is St. Augustine grass, but it is grass. It is not native the grass that we use for sod is not native in Florida, so it takes so much amendments, right? So the amendments are the chemicals, and then we get things like the chinch bugs, the the things that want to eat the underneath of the grass. We got to kill them, so we got to put pesticides down the lawn. We got to keep it green enough, so we got to feed it because it doesn't grow in our soil. Like, it's just a fucking, you're trying to keep an alien alive in a place that it does not belong. Why not do native plants that actually support a lot of life? I don't know. I'm working on that.
Well, anyway, we were talking about weeds, and like what I was saying is to go out and start,
observing.
If you don't recognize or don't know the plants that are growing in your yard, get to know them. Use Google to take a picture and learn what it is, and what it does, what the properties of it are.
I want to say the fucking app I use that's free.
It's a way to connect yourself with nature and your own yard, and to be more observant, and then also to like give a shit. You're like, oh my God, look, that little purple flowers on there, the red flowers on there, and most people would call that a weed, but I call that a flower.
The interesting thing is that when we talk about weeds, a lot of these weeds, air quotes, are actually the host plant for caterpillars, for butterflies, for moths, for life. And we're eliminating them. And so we are eliminating the wildlife around us. We're eliminating diversity. And for me, my own witchcraft beliefs is that because I am so earth-centered in my witchcraft, right? With science, can't lie. This is very important to me, to bring back this balance and to educate other people on it. That's one of the things that I'm very passionate about, is native stuff. Whatever you're in, wherever you're at, native. Look at it.
Well, and as somebody who really did not believe for most of her life that she could grow much of anything, I said I had a black thumb. For me to live here now and to have my backyard, like full of these things that I planted, and they're like 5 or 6 feet tall, and it's really, I'll tell you, it does something for my soul.
I love that.
To go out to see it, to go out there and witness. It's like I did that because my backyard was pretty fucking barren.
It was bare.
Well, it was bare.
And the people tried to go grass, and it was terrible.
When I got here.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, let's talk about some practical magic for the season.
I love this. Okay, listen. The practical things to do is you can probably find them on Pinterest just for fall, honestly. But practical things. My favorite thing to do is to create a fall altar, and I'm going to post this to Instagram soon because I have a lot of weird little gatherings of things that when the seasons change, I go out and collect shit. I just can't help myself. And then I just put it all together. Sometimes I keep it all, sometimes I return it to nature, but creating a balance altar. So think about this. If you were to create an altar that was dedicated just to balance, what things would you put on there? A lot of people think about opposites. That's what balance is, right? Mm-hmm. Spectrum, one side to the other. But balance it's an individual concept because we don't know what you're lacking, so we don't know what you need in it. So think about use your elements. This is what I would say. Use your elements. If you need less time in your thoughts, don't put things like feathers that you found. Don't put any representations of air because you're already in your head so much. Put things that ground you. So if you are a lot of air, put grounding things. Put anything that comes from the earth. You could put dirt, you could put plant pieces, you could put leaves, you could put sticks, you can put moss, rocks, anything that is super earth-centric. This is a balance. So when we think about air being in your head versus earth, or maybe you're too grounded and you're sluggish and you're stuck and you don't feel like anything, maybe you need inspiration, fire energy, anything that's red. As the leaves change, that's the one thing I miss in Florida, honestly, seeing leaves change.
Yeah.
I do miss those colors, man. I think nature is fucking amazing.
I agree.
Just the way that the leaf goes from one color to the next. Sometimes they can be hot pink too. I've seen them. So think about the ways that you can incorporate a balance altar that really brings in what you need versus what you're stagnant in, okay? And I gave the description of air versus earth.
I think I would like to add to this that if you're a new witch, an altar is any place where you have a gathering of things that are meaningful to you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so when you think altar, especially if you're new, you might be thinking of all the altars that you see on social media, and they're really beautiful, and people have spent a lot of time, and they have a lot wrapped up in them. But an altar truly is just a space, a table, a space in your room.
It's literally like any flat space where you stick things.
Yeah.
Open for interpretation.
Yeah, it is. So you know, don't feel like you have to have an altar cloth, and you have to, you know, it doesn't have to be that. It can just be things that you bring together that have meaning to you, that represent something to you, not to anybody else. That's an altar.
When Cameron was little, we had a nature altar, but he didn't know that. That's not what we called it. But anything cool that we found out in nature when we would go to the beach or we'd go on walks. And he was like, Mom, look at this stick. It's so cool. It does this. Like, he would find things that in nature felt really cool to him. Shells, crab sheddings, like whatever it was. And he would bring it home, and I'm like, it goes right there, baby, in our pile of cool things from nature. And that's what our altar was called, cool things from nature. He did not need to know, this is an altar to all the things we've... You don't have to make it so official. You can be like, this is the place where I stick the cool shit that I found in nature. That's it. Yeah. I have ones like that for feathers, shells. Think about all your groupings of things, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All of the insects that I find in my yard that have either died or chrysalises or whatever, I have a literal shadow box with pins in it, and I just keep sticking things in there. All the little things I found over the last 7 years being in my house. It's an altar.
Okay, so of course, this is the time of year, you know, to start turning on the stove and doing some baking.
Oh yes, get in the kitchen.
It's not so hot. Get in the kitchen. Make some bread. Make some soup. I mean, especially with what's going on in our economy right now, this might be a good time to turn to things that are more homemade and economical. Yeah, like buy the flour, make the soup from make the soup from scratch. You know, have a pot going, have a crock pot going, and then also, as you're doing that, you know, you can stir in gratitude or intention. I am really being drawn or pulled to like kitchen stuff. It's like I told you, I wanted to make witchy aprons.
Please give me one.
Well, I would first make them for all of my family so I could try them out before I would like make them for other people. So yeah. Let's see, what else? What are some other things that we can do that are practical?
Listen, I just want to point out, if you guys have not done a pumpkin chili, please do a pumpkin chili. The spices that go into it are literally prosperity.
Oh,
all the way around.
Yeah.
A pumpkin chili is a prosperity chili. In case you guys didn't know, I've never put that out there before. It's one of my favorite things
rosemary
to make.
Bread is, if you haven't made rosemary bread,
yeah, it's the
you
best.
Must.
It's so
easy, and it's so easy, and it is just so.
It's so good.
It's so fragrant, and it's wonderful. Okay, so if you want to look into the future, you might try apple divination. Cut it horizontally to reveal a star inside, and ask what's next for you.
Because when you cut an apple in half with the star side, so like imagine the stem, but then you turn the stem on its side horizontally, and then you cut it like that.
Yeah,
it
it's not like
the star.
Yeah, you want the star. You want to cut it such that you see the star.
So I put this in there because you can ask your question before you cut the apple, and depending on how many seeds are on either side, whatever side has the more seeds is the yes. So you frame your question, and Kat read this before I could explain it. I'm sorry. I love you. But you can cut an apple and do that divination and say, I need an answer to this for clarity. And when you cut the apple, you decide, okay, stem is yes, end is no. Like, you got to decide that. Then when you cut it, whichever seeds are on either side, boom, apple divination. And I don't know if you guys know this, but this is more midsummer stuff, but sharing an apple with a loved one is creating a love spell. And like, you know, there's this whole thing about sharing an apple and it being a love spell. Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Well, integrating lessons into daily life.
Yep. Balance isn't just for today. You need to set boundaries and say no and rest more. We just want to reiterate that. That's everyday life.
Yeah.
Set boundaries, say no,
rest more. And when you're resting, try to reframe. If you have the thoughts of like, I should be doing something else besides laying on my bed right now, net chicken and Phil.
Net chicken and Phil?
Netflixing and chill.
Just
yeah, instead of doing that. So if you have these intrusive thoughts about there's laundry that needs to be done. The kitchen needs to be clean. I really should be shopping. I really should be try to like push that out and enjoy that time, because you've earned it. You deserve it, and you should take it for yourself. You need it for yourself. It's not just that you've earned it, you deserve it.
You need
it because if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to end up very depleted. And I found, for me personally, I would end up feeling resentful about the things that I was doing for the people that I loved. You know, and that seems unfair to them, but that was me, because I wasn't treating myself the same way that I was treating with the same care that I was treating everybody else.
True.
So everybody else got taken care of, Kat got nothing, or very little, or just the crumbs, the leftovers, you know. So to try to work on that. That's maybe some shadow work for you if you're really struggling with like feeling like that you can take time for yourself.
Yeah. And if you're thinking about the shadow work stuff, our podcast just before this, so podcast 55, oh my gosh, I'm losing track of the numbers. We did 10 shadow work questions for the Libra season so that you could find balance. Okay, so we went through 10 of them in that podcast, the podcast before this. But this makes me think of, recently I get up early in the morning and I like my mornings to myself, just like I like to have space and time and 1 cup of coffee before anybody needs to talk to me. And about a week ago, my husband got up with me at the same time and I was like, oh, you're awake? And he's like, I always get up at this time. And I was like, oh, no you don't, like I'm always awake by myself. And I said that and he goes, pfft. It became this like almost battle of, I wake up the same time as you. I was like, well, you stay in the room and I shut the door and I'm out here by myself, so you're interrupting my peace. And I had to tell him this, that I need my 30 to 45 hour minutes of I make my coffee, I sit with myself, I look at things, I go outside and I look at the stars, I take videos, I take pictures. Like, I do this whole thing where it's just me in the world and nobody else exists at that time. That's my time. So this is another thing, is like making it a daily ritual, your morning coffee gratitude. I do that alone. I need the alone time. I wake up early just to have that alone time. Or I stay up late. Sometimes my husband's like, I'm going to bed. I was like, cool, see you there in a bit. I don't know. Like, I'm going to just sit out here. Like, go to bed. I need to feel alone in the world for a minute. I need to just have my own headspace. So it's like lighting a candle at night and just honoring being in that balance of light and dark. You know, you got your morning routine or your evening routine, but finding that space for yourself, I have found is so incredibly helpful for my own mental health, so that I am not constantly looking at what everybody else needs around me. It's like, this is just me time. Just me time. No guilt. No impressions of like, oh shit, things are happening and I should be attending to something. No. Like, this is how we keep the magic going even past our equinoxes or our other holidays. Finding your balance and setting your boundaries. It's huge. I guess we've been harping on boundaries for like 4 or 5 podcasts.
Yeah, so I think
so
that's
funny.
It's probably
We're
because
experiencing
we
that,
must need it.
We must need it.
Yeah, we
I
must
think
need
there's
it.
so many women that I talk to, it is about boundaries, because we're so giving and we're so loving, especially once we get into a witchcraft mindset where it's like everything should be beneficial for everybody. But sometimes we're the only ones giving, and then we're like, oh shit, we're depleted. I got to call back for me.
Yeah.
You know? Because we are so kind and loving and all. And it's not bad. It's not a bad way to be. But it's a bad way to be if you never ever take time for yourself. If you do not curate the time for you to do your own shit, whether it's running on a treadmill, putting the puzzles together, watching hoarders, doing gardening, pulling your tarot card, having your coffee.
Yeah, drinking coffee in the morning by yourself while you watch the sun come up.
There you go. Like, I want to know what the clouds look like every morning outside of my house. I make it a goal. I'm like, what does sunrise look like today? And I love going forward with my day like that because it gives me curiosity, enjoyment. Sometimes I see birds doing crazy things. Sometimes there's bats. Sometimes my cats come to the door for no fucking reason. I don't know. There's always something. And I'm like, I like to be surprised by that. And it's just for me. It's not for anybody else's enjoyment. I get to do things just for me. That is where we can really create our own internal happiness that we're relying on for ourselves, rather than looking at we're happy because we've pleased everybody else.
Yeah.
The people-pleasing thing. Absolutely.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up now. So as a reminder, what we've talked about in this podcast is
1 million things.
This is, well, I'm going to try to bring it down to just a couple points, which is that with the equinox here in the fall, this is a time to reset. That the equinox is balance, right?
Yes.
Equal light, equal dark. So this is your reminder to do a reset, right? To get back to from all the craziness of whatever the last 3 or 4 months, all over the summer. Maybe it even goes all the way back to the last equinox where it just has been go, go, go. This is your reminder to start slowing it down, to reset, to make sure you have balance in your life.
Yeah.
And also, we stress as women to our women listeners, the importance of boundaries and taking care of yourself, and the boundaries are balance. That's just
Boundaries and balance go together.
They go together.
1000%.
So to make sure that you are taking time for yourself, and we gave you some goddesses that you can look into, a couple of ideas for some altars, super easy altars, and what else? Did I miss anything? Is that a wrap up?
That's mostly the wrap up with our own little stories in there. Yeah.
All right. Also, of course, always, the winter time or the dark time of the year, as we're moving into that, is always a good time for reflection and shadow work.
Always,
if that's, this is a good time right now to look back at what you planted and what you grew this year, what was successful, what wasn't successful.
Absolutely.
So some reflective time.
Yeah.
And that's good for your soul. So,
it really is, because that's how we can gauge ourselves and build more confidence. I know it feels weird to judge yourself, but truly do that work so that you can reflect on things, and then you can gain confidence in the things that you've done, and then you can decide what you want to work on, or you can decide, I set that goal for myself and I actually didn't fucking care about that. I've learned that more than anything, that I set goals for myself that are way too high, way too this demanding, whatever, and I'm like, I didn't even really care about this year, actually. I really wanted something way lower. But here's my Virgo brain going, do more, do this, achieve more, you need to be more. Okay, in the quiet of going into this dark half of the year, what I realized is that I set my expectations too high for myself that I didn't need to, and I'm actually really proud of all the things that I did do. And fuck you, overachiever self in my brain that always wants to just do more and cause me to stress out. Sometimes we have those. Yeah. No, what Kat said was beautiful as far as a wrap up, and thank you for bringing us back to point.
Yep.
I really love that.
That was point. We talked a lot, and as always, we hope that our stories and our experiences help you in your practice. And
Absolutely.
If you have any questions about practicing witchcraft, you can reach out to us on our social accounts. We've got, of course, Instagram. We now have a TikTok, so our Instagram is Witchworks Coven. Our TikTok is Witchworks Coven. Our YouTube, of course, is still New Witch Academy of Modern Magic. We haven't changed that yet.
Because it's still towards the school.
Because it's still towards the school, yeah. Speaking of the school, as a reminder, we do have a witch school out there. So if you're, this is a good time of year to buckle down and start learning some things. So if you're interested in witch school. Because
we're inside more, yes.
Yeah. And so, take some time for yourself and your practice and what you want to learn. You might check out Witch School. We do have basically a syllabus on our website.
Do you want to see what's in it?
Which is witchworkscoven.com, so you can see what the school is about. Yeah. It's only $22, which I think is a good price.
222, my birthday.
222, yeah. Good balancing, yeah.
And so the thing about getting into a witch school is that we're always there for you. You have email access to us all the time. Yeah. We will do a phone call with you. We did all of this to support other witches, truly. And that's all we want to do. And we're like, please, somebody need us. We need you to need us.
Somebody ask us a question because we would love to help you.
We need to fulfill that purpose in ourselves. Please write to us. Ask us a good question. Just do it. Yeah.
Anything.
Help us.
Please. What do you want to know? Because we love to talk about witchcraft and how it can.
All the time.
Yeah,
1000%.
that's it. We have 30 plus years of experience between us. So we have some knowledge here. Plus, 100 years of living.
Fuck.
100 years of living. So
we're at 100 years because I'm 44 and you're 60 what?
Yeah, 66, yeah.
Oh my God, we hit the 100-year mark this year? Holy shit. Kat's birthday is November 8th. That's coming up soon.
Yeah.
And she will be 66 then?
67.
Or 67? No, I can't stand you getting older. We've been at a 100-year mark and I didn't even realize that.
I didn't realize it either until I just said it.
Oh my God.
Anyway, we're here for you.
love
If
it.
you want to make a comment on this, when you see this video on YouTube, or reach out to us on any of our socials, we respond. So please, if you have a question,
we're looking at it.
Yeah, we're here.
All the time.
So
We love you guys. We hope you enjoyed this. It was super candid. It's a conversation about just all kinds of shit from Mabon season.
Yep.
And we hope that you find balance in this season and go forward with things that can actually help you. Do the work. Do the work. You want to practice witchcraft? You do the work. We love you so much. We'll see you
Bye,
next
witches.
time.
Next time.
Bye.